So good to have you here. All right. So tonight we're going to continue with the review of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Please sit back, relax as we journey together. All right. So tonight we're going to be starting chapter 4. We're going to start chapter 4 and end chapter 4. Hi. Four is titled Auto-Suggestion, the medium for influencing the conscious mind. And this is the third step to riches. We have looked at the first step to riches, which is desire. We have looked at the second step, which is faith. And now this is the third step to riches. Yes, sorry, I just want to quickly double check something. All right, so what is auto-suggestion? It is a term that applies to all suggestions and all self-administered stimuli that reach one's mind through the five senses. What are our five senses? The eyes, the sense of sight. I hope I still remember. Sense of sight, sense of smell, sense of touch, the hand, sense of taste, the tongue. What's the last one? Eyes, sense of sight, nose, sense of smell, tongue, sense of taste, hand, sense of touch. What's the last one? Ear, sense of hearing. All right. So these are the five senses through which you can get auto-suggestion. Stated in another way, auto-suggestion is self-suggestion, as in, yes, the skin, that's the sense of touch, I guess. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Bakari. So it is self-suggestion. You can actually use a smartphone. When you're trying to type, your smartphone is going to suggest to you some words that you commonly used, prompting you to say, okay, probably this is the word you want to use again this time. And it can only suggest those words to you because you have used them over time, you use them often, or you use them recently. The same thing applies to auto-suggestion, which is self-suggestion. Your mind is going to be suggesting to you the thoughts that you have been putting into your mind over time. Through the dominating thoughts, one permits to remain in the conscious mind. Whether these thoughts be negative or positive is immaterial. The principle of auto-suggestion voluntarily reaches the subconscious mind and influences it with these thoughts. Your subconscious mind is that part of your mind that you really do not have control over, but which influences your actions, the way you behave, and things like that. That is your subconscious mind. You are not so fully aware of it. You don't even know that, oh, this is what is going on there. But it is actually picking signals from you. Your subconscious mind is picking up your thoughts pattern over time, the way you behave, the things you do, the things you say to yourself. No thought, whether it is negative or positive, can enter the subconscious mind without the aid of the principle of auto-suggestion. This means that it is what you give to you that the subconscious mind absorbs. That is why we said earlier that you have to be careful what you feed your mind with. Nature has so built us that we have absolute control. Yes, our subconscious mind through our five senses. Although this is not meant to be construed as a statement that we always exercise this control, because in the great majority of instances, we do control over what goes into our subconscious minds. Hi, Howard. But it is unfortunate that a lot of people do not exercise this control. And that is why so many people go through life in poverty, because once they start thinking of poverty, instead of them to exercise that control to say, no, I'm not going to be poor. I am not going to wallow in poverty. This is not my portion. I am going to be rich. They allow such thoughts to settle in. They embrace it. And they even begin to mix it with emotion. They begin to pity themselves. They begin to look for all sorts of excuses. They begin to justify it That is what happens. So exercise self-control. Any thoughts that is not aligning with what you want for your life should not stay, should not be given a second chance. And if there is a flush it out. Please don't forget to like this live stream. Thank you. To find a way to flush it out, it mustn't take roots in your heart. Recall what has been said about the subconscious mind resembling a fertile garden spot in which weeds will grow in abundance if the weeds of more desirable crops are not sown there. Weeds will go if the seeds of more desirable crops are not sown there. If you don't sow the desirable crops, favorable will be empty. You have to be thinking of something per time. Something must be controlling your mind per time. So it can either be positive or negative. Whatever you feed your mind with is what stays there. There is no magic about it. Anywhere. So auto-suggestion is the agency of control through which an individual may voluntarily feed the subconscious mind thoughts of a creative nature. Feed the subconscious mind thoughts of a creative nature, or by neglect, permit thoughts of a destructive nature to find their way into this rich garden of the mind. The garden of the mind is so rich, it's beautiful, waiting for any crop that you want to sow there. Whatever you sow there is what will germinate. It is as simple as that. In chapter 2, do we remember? We were instructed the written statements of our desire for money, if you remember, and to see and feel yourself already in possession of the money. We were instructed to say it in the morning, first thing when we wake up, and the last thing before we go to bed. You are supposed to avoid all distractions. See it, feel it. How many of us have done that already? Because I did it that same night that we talked about it. So if you have not done it, you really have to do it. Because we get to a point where this author is telling us that you cannot do things anyhow. You cannot take in half instruction. It is either you are in or you are out. There's nothing like one leg in, one leg out. If we really, really mean business, and if truly we will. So you're instructed to do that. By following these instructions, you communicate the object of your desire directly to your subconscious mind by saying, your business, or this my job, and things like that. You are communicating to your subconscious mind in a spirit of absolute faith. Absolute faith. I hope we still remember what faith is. That strong desire that something is going to happen and that it will happen. That strong desire that you can do something and then you go ahead. That is faith. Even when you don't fully understand the journey, you cannot immediately figure out everything. In fact, your reality does not look like it, but you keep on saying what you want to see. That is faith. Faith comes by repetition, by affirmation, intentionally. A burning desire, yes. Thank you. It will keep driving you. So you must mix it with faith, habits favorable to your efforts. Take note, favorable to your efforts. You are working hard to be rich. You have to create thoughts that are favorable to being rich. Don't work from morning till night, and then when you get home, what you are saying is, hey, I'm working in vain. I'm so poor. When you go out there since morning to go and work, you have to say words that align with what you want to say. It's okay. You may not have money in your bank account. You may not live in the best of houses yet. But you keep saying what you want to see. So now the author is telling us to go back to the 6 steps described in chapter 2 and read them again very carefully before we proceed further. So now I'm going to go there quickly. The 6 steps described in chapter 2. We'll read them again very carefully before we proceed further. All right. So come with me. I think that should be page 22. Page 22, okay, and also 23. So the number one thing, it says the method by which desire for riches can be transmitted into its financial equivalent consists of 6 definite practical steps. Number 1, Fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. It is not sufficient merely to say, I want plenty of money. Be definite as to the amount. There is a psychological reason for definiteness, which will be described in a subsequent chapter. So have an amount in your mind. And let me advise you at this point, don't play small. You are not the one that will bring that amount. But imagine that you don't even have 10,000 naira in your bank account right now as you speak, for example. You don't even know how you're going to pay your next house rent. And then you are writing down that by December 2024, yes, in 3 months' time. Woo, today's the last day of September. Happy new month in advance, everybody. So don't forget. And then by December 2024, let me use dollars. You want to be rich to the tune of $100,000 in 3 months. You see, it's not something that you can calculate with your brain, but you need to have faith. So don't worry. There's this saying that I love. It says, dream big, God will fund it. Don't play small. Yes, happy independence to us. So number 2, determine exactly what you intend to give in return. Do you want to give hard work, prayer, sacrifice? You want to give some of your sleep hours or sleeping hours every Saturday? You must be willing to give something for it. Do you want to make sure that you read a book every day? A book that aligns with what you are aiming for? You want to make sure that you register for that seminar. You must be willing to give something. Number 3, establish a definite date. Number 4, create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, whether you are ready or not, to put this plan into action. Is it through your business? What is the name of the business? Name it. How do you want to establish it? Because the money is not going to jump from heaven. It is what you have in your hands that God is now going to bless. Yes, you must be doing something. There must be something, a process through which you're going to acquire these riches. Then number 5, write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire. Name the time limit for its acquisition. State what you intend to give in return for the money and describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate it. So in essence, number 5 is saying what you have now thought about or said to yourself in 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now write everything out. And then number 6, read your written statement aloud twice daily. Once just before retiring at night and once after rising in the morning. As you read, see and feel and believe yourself. And it is an instruction that you must carry out. If you really, really want to fully benefit from the principles of this book. All right. Then when you come to it, read very carefully before instructions for the organization of your mastermind group described in chapter 7. We're going to get there. All right. So remember, therefore, when reading aloud the statement of your desire that we just read in money consciousness, for you to attract money, you have to be conscious of money. You have to be. The thought of money must fill your mind. That is only when you can attract it. Because if you are not thinking about it, if any opportunity for money comes, you are not going to know. Because it may not look like what you are expecting. That is why in this review class, we've been saying that you should never close your mind. No, never. Somebody brings a carpentry job to you. Don't say, oh, I'm not a carpenter. You are a carpenter. You know a carpenter who does a fantastic job. Contract the person. Supervise the job. You don't need to lift a saw or a hammer or anything or a nail. You're only supervising. You know what you want. Give it to the person. Let them work in accordance to that. Do the supply. Get the money. Pay the carpenter. As I am, there's nothing I cannot do. So in case you have any business, please reach out to me. Reach out to me. These days, people are jacks of all trades, and they are master of so many of them. Yes, maybe not master of all, but master of so many of them. Just has to do with your priorities, time management, and things like that. Have an open mind. Okay, where were we? So read it aloud, which are endeavoring to develop a money consciousness, that the mere reading of the word is of no consequence. Just merely reading the word is of no consequence unless you mix emotion or feeling with your words. There is a way I'm going to say that, I have a headache. If I sit here now and say, I have a headache, and my husband is sitting next to me, you may not even pick what I just said, because I said it very casually. Okay, imagine two patients at the hospital. One is saying, check me, doctor. The doctor will be like, okay, please hold on. Please hold on. I need to attend to a patient in ward 5. Because from the way you are speaking, the doctor can see that, this one, the pain has not really gripped you. So there are people in more critical conditions that need to be attended to. But somebody in ward 5 is shouting, doctor, help, I need you. You know, the doctor is going to go there first. So there must be emotion. There must be feeling. It must grip you. I think that's the best way I can describe it. It must grip you. Something must be holding you. You must be very conscious of it. If you are not conscious of it, it doesn't fill your mind. You know, it means that you have not gotten it yet. You haven't. So mix your words with emotion or feeling. If somebody is praying with emotions or feelings, you are going to know. You are going to know. The kind that Hannah prayed in my own Bible, that even the priest could not ignore. Thought, woman, what's going on? And that wasn't God answered a prayer. If you repeat 1,000,000 times the famous Emil Coe formula, day by day, in every way, I am getting better and better. Your subconscious mind recognizes and acts only upon thoughts that have been well mixed with emotion or feeling. This is a fact of such importance as to warrant repetition in practically every chapter. The lack of understanding of this is the main reason the majority of people who try to apply the principle of autosuggestion get no desirable results. They just merely say it. It doesn't come from the bottom of their hearts. They don't mean it. If you mean something, it will show on your face. So mix it with emotion, mix it with faith. Let the person next to you be like, I hope everything is okay. Yeah, I'm doing that so that everything can be okay. So plain unintentional words do not influence the subconscious mind. It doesn't have to be, it mustn't be plain. It mustn't be unintentional. Remember our motto, be intentional. You have to be intentional. It must be deliberate. It must be done on purpose. It's not something that you just mumble words to yourself and do casually. Do not become discouraged if you cannot control and direct your emotions the first time you try to do so. Remember, there is no such possibility as something for nothing. The ability to reach and influence your subconscious mind has its price, and you must pay that price. What is that price? Everlasting persistence, the ability to stay there. Yes, you must stay there. You are not seeing the results. Stay there. A rolling stone gathers no moss. A lot of people should change themselves in life. They start one business today. In the next 3 months, it's not yielding the results they want. They pack it up. They jump to another one. Oh, people are selling water now. They go there. In 6 months, they are not getting any desirable results. They leave. Oh, people are selling clothes. They go there. They can't grow like that. They can't make profit like that. Growth takes patience and time. That is one thing we all must understand. It's not easy. Nobody is saying that it is easy. But if you want to see results, you have to nurture it. You have to cultivate it. You have to give it your time and energy. You have to. I said in one of my recent posts on TikTok that I get 400 followers. 400 followers. But then it took me 4 months to get 35,000 followers. Do you think that the 35,000 followers came overnight? No. They are the result of what I had been building over time. Over time. In 9 months, I only got 400. But I didn't stop. I kept posting consistently. Good. I kept posting consistently. I didn't lower the standard each time. Was it discouraging? Yes, it can be very discouraging because a lot goes into content creation. Now you conceive the idea, you try to get inspiration, you consult, whatever you want to consult, and then you now script it if it is something that you want to script, or if you are not scripting, just put in bullet points, and then you now think of the best way. Should I make it a carousel post? Should I do a video? Should I just put a picture? You determine the video. If you want to do a video, a 1-minute video, maybe you are doing take 6. Maybe the first time is not good, you cut it, start again, you cut, you start again, you cut, you start again. You now get one is okay, this one is better. Then you now start editing, cut out the parts that you don't want, doing all of that. Then you now post, you are now engaging, and then after everything, you get 2 likes, 10 views. Tell me, it is discouraging. But that is how growth comes. That is how we build character. That is how we build toughness. That is how to be persistent, because you know what you want. If you are sure that you're on the right path, except you're not sure that you're on the right path. But even if you are not sure you're on the right path, you need to go and search it out and be sure, because you cannot gamble with life. You can't. You can't play try and error. At the end of the day, it's going to be wasted effort. So stay there. People call you crazy. Say it. You know what you're saying with the eyes of your imagination. So apply the principles. Right. So be ready to pay the price. If you know that it is worth it, then you be ready to pay that price. That's right. Rome was not built in a day. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Exactly. Wisdom and cleverness alone will not attract and retain money. It is not about your certificates, your degree. It's not about how smart you are. Except in a very rare instances where the law of averages favors, the attraction of money. And that is in rare cases when people are just doing, the same thing over and over and over and over and over, and just one day, money described here does not depend upon the law of averages. Moreover, the method plays no favorites. It will work for one person as effectively as it will work for another. The methods described in this book. Where failure is experienced, it is the individual, not the method. If after reading this book, something does not shift in you, and you have been joining the reviews from the beginning, then it is not this book. It is not the methods described in this book that fail. It is you. Did you carry out the instruction? Did you do it appropriately? You should be asking. No favorites. If you follow it, it is going to favor you. So if you fail, don't worry, try again. If you fail, don't worry, try again. Keep doing it better each time. Make another effort and still another until you succeed. Your ability to use the principle of auto-suggestion will depend very large desire until that desire becomes a burning obsession. Think about it every time. May God forgive me. Yesterday in church, all through, I was just thinking about money. Not money per se. I was thinking about a particular business idea that dropped on my mind. God have mercy on me. I could not fully concentrate. I think I only grasped like half of the sermon. It occupied my mind so strongly. And at points, the pastor was speaking to that. The pastor was speaking to that. And the moment I heard that, I'm like, thank you, Lord. That is it. And he now started speaking encouragement. Then my focus now shifted back to the sermon, like, come on, this is it. This is what I need to hear. Right? I'm not saying that is the way it's supposed to be, that you be distracted in church, but that is the way it is supposed to be normally. It will fill your mind out of the abundance of your heart. You know what I mean? Okay. Where else? Where else? Okay. Oh, we need to be fast now. We need to be fast. We need to be fast. We need to be fast. All right. Let us hear of our suggestions for the effective use of concentration. I'll don't worry, don't worry. It's still cooking. It's cooking. Don't worry. We are together. We are together. Don't worry. We are together. When you begin to carry out the first of the 6 steps, which instruct you to fix in your own mind the exact amount of money you do, this is how to do it: by concentration or fixation of attention, with your eyes closed until you can actually see the physical appearance of the money. Close your eyes and imagine it. As I close my eyes now, I can see $500,000. Yes, that's what I can see. $500,000. That's what I saw just now. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. That's what I see. So close your eyes. Concentrate. You can even put your phone on silent. Avoid all distractions. Hold it there. Do this at least once each day. As you go through these exercises, follow the instructions given in the chapter of faith and see yourself actually in possession of the money. Do it at least. That's the least. You can do it 3 times, 10 times, as often as you can. But the minimum time you should do this a day is once. And then what is the instruction in the chapter of faith? Repeat it. Words of affirmation. Let your thoughts, your words align with what you're saying. You start saying, I'm rich. Here's the most significant fact. The subconscious mind takes any of giving it in a spirit of, so you can trick your subconscious mind, make it believe, because you believe it, that you must have that amount of money you are visualizing, that this money is already awaiting your claim. Oh, Lord days. Yes, visualize it, that it is already awaiting your claim. That the subconscious mind must hand over to you practical plans for acquiring the money, which is yours. Remember when we read, the previous chapter about Charles N. Schwab, who just by an idea, a thought, made up his mind that was going to make a plan towards the merger of steel mills in the United States of America, which later became United. He wrote a plan. And when the opportunity came for that speech at the University Club on 5th Avenue, he did not mince words. He knew what he wanted. He had prepared for that day. They gave him 15 to 20 minutes to speak. He spent 90 minutes, and the people were not bored. We had the likes of J.P. Morgan there, the money Morgan himself. And even when his hosts were scared that, you're going to bore all these billionaires, they were not bored. Even after his 90-minute speech, the likes of J.P. Morgan still called him aside and spoke to him for more than 1 hour because he delivered that plan effortlessly. When opportunity meets preparation, success is inevitable. Start planning. It's not enough to just say you want to be rich to the tune of $1 million. What plans do you have in place? You need a plan such that anytime an opportunity presents itself, you'll be like, yes, this is what I need. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Write that proposal. Write that action plan. Let it be very, very clear and definite to you. I tell you honestly, you're not going to miss such an opportunity. That was what Ernst Schwab did, and was able to secure $400 million for his boss, Andrew Carnegie, as far back as 124 years ago, 1900. Come on. As far back as 1900, $400 million. Billions of dollars. He did it. Steel Corporation, stronger. Just one man, the power of his imagination. He wrote a plan, and when the opportunity came, he didn't miss it. All right. So create a definite plan to carry out your desire. Begin at once to put this plan into action. You should follow the instruction in the manner described in the preceding paragraph. Your brain cannot carry it. Imagine that you want $100,000 by December 2024, and as we speak now, you don't have 10,000 naira. Your logic is faulty. It will tell you 1,001 reasons why you cannot get it. So don't trust your reasoning. Moreover, your reasoning faculty may be lazy, and if you depend entirely upon it to serve you, it may disappoint you. When visualizing the money you intend to accumulate with your closed eyes, see yourself rendering the service or delivering the merchandise you intend to give in return for this money. This is very, very important. There is no vacuum in nature. The money that you want must come through something, right? Could be the business you're already doing. Could be that your job. Could be that your business plan, your proposal, that you already want. Summary of the instructions. The fact that you are reading this book is an indication that you earnestly seek knowledge. So I congratulate you. It is also an indication that you are a student of this subject. If you are only a student, there is a chance you may learn much, but you will learn only by assuming an attitude of humility. If you choose to follow some of the instructions but neglect or refuse to follow others, you will fail. To get satisfactory results, you must follow all instructions in a spirit of faith. We've said it over and over. You have faith. Visualize it. I've told you my story over and over, right? When I wanted to go to South Africa for my postgraduate studies, I didn't have any money in my bank account. I didn't have any sponsor. A day to when I would go, I had not booked my flight tickets. And I told people that I'm traveling tomorrow as at then. But on the morning of that day, that tomorrow then, I booked my flight ticket miraculously. Have faith. Without faith, you cannot achieve anything in life. That is the truth. So the instructions given in connection with the 6 steps in chapter 2 will be summarized and blended with the principles covered by this chapter. Let's quickly go to the summary. Number 1, go into some quiet spots. Preferring your eyes and repeat aloud, so you may hear your own words. The written statement of the amount of money you intend to accumulate, the time limits for its accumulation, and a description of the service or merchandise you intend to give in return for the money. As you carry out these instructions, see yourself already in possession of the money. For example, suppose you intend to accumulate $100,000 by the 1st of January, 5 years hence, and that you intend to give personal services in return for the money in the capacity of a sales representative. Your written statement of your purpose should be similar to the following. Now, this is what you write. You say, by the first day of January 2029, I will have in my possession $100,000, which will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the interim. In return for this money, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable, rendering the fullest possible quantity and the best possible quality of service as a sales representative of, describe the service or merchandise you intend to sell. As a sales representative of clothes, for example, I believe I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting transfer to me in the proportion that I deliver the service I intend to render in return for it. I am awaiting a plan by which to accumulate this money, and I will follow that plan when it is received. Then number 2, repeat this program night and morning until you can see in your imagination the money you intend to accumulate. Then number 3, place a written copy of your statement where you can see it night and morning. Place it where you can see it. Sticky notes. May I have these sticky notes? Place them around. Play a written copy of the statement where you can see it night and morning. Read it just before retiring to bed at night and upon rising until it has been memorized. Now we are moving to the final phase, and then we'll round off very soon in the next 4 minutes. As you carry out these instructions, remember that you are applying the principle of auto-suggestion. You are suggesting to your mind what you want your mind to be giving back to you. Anytime people are saying, oh, times are tough, the country is hard, your own mind is giving back to you what you have programmed into it to say, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am a billionaire, I am successful, my dry cleaning business is global, my content creation business has gone international, I am earning in foreign currency, I am rich, I am wise, whatever you want to say, I am healed. If you need healing, say it too. Whatever you want to say, I have my children. Anything you want to say, So whatever you give to your mind is what it is going to give back to you. Remember also that your subconscious mind will act only upon instructions that are emotionalized and handed over to it with feeling. Faith is the strongest and most productive of the emotions. Faith. Have you seen a man that has faith before? You will try to convince him otherwise why he should not go left. He can fight you. He can punch you if care is not taken, because he is resolute. He has said to himself, it is either I go left or I go left. And nothing can change that. If you try to stand in his way, he's ready to, he's ready to do whatever to take you off his way. He's going where he's going. So follow the instructions given in chapter 3 about faith by repeating it over and over. These instructions may at first seem abstract. Do not let this disturb you. Follow them anyway. The time will soon come, if you do as you have been instructed in spirit as well as in action, when a whole new universe of power will unfold to you. Skepticism in connection with all new ideas is characteristic of all human beings. At first, you're going to be skeptical. You look at yourself, me, $500 in 2 years' time. I'm sorry, $500,000 in 2 years' time. Where I want to see them, as in, don't let that bother you. You just keep saying it. You are now reading the chapter that represents the keystone to the arc of this philosophy. The instructions contained in this chapter must be understood and applied with persistence if you are to succeed in transmuting desire into money. Carry out these instructions as though you were a small child. Inject into your efforts something of the faith of a child. Whatever I tell my almost 2-year-old son now is what he believes. Even my 6-year-old daughter, she'll keep saying it over and over. Have you seen a child that wants pizza before? That's my daughter for you. She still says, I want pizza, I want pizza, I want pizza. That is what is in her subconscious mind. She doesn't know whether daddy has money or mommy has money. She wants pizza, she wants that. So she keeps repeating it. She's not bothered, she's not disturbed. Even though I told her, I don't have money for pizza, she will still repeat it. She will still say it. That's the faith of a child. Because she believes that she will say it long enough, you'll be forced to go and buy that pizza for her. So do it with the faith of a child. The author has been most careful to see that no impractical instructions have been included because of his sincere desire to be helpful. All right. We've come to the end of this chapter 4. Read the entire chapter aloud once every night until you become thoroughly convinced that the principle of autosuggestion is sound, that it will accomplish for you all that has been claimed for it. As you read, underscore with a pencil or a pen or a highlighter, whichever one you have, every sentence that impresses you favorably. Follow this instruction to the letter and it will open the way for a complete understanding and mastery of the principles of success. So get this book in case you don't have it. You've been told to read this chapter again. Very, very instructive. All right, we've come to the end of chapter 4, and then tomorrow, by God's grace, we're going to move on to chapter 5, which is titled Specialized Knowledge, Personal Experiences or Observations, the fourth step to riches. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I sincerely appreciate you all. God bless you. Don't forget to like this video if you are yet to like it. Please drop all of your comments in the comment section. Kindly subscribe to this channel in case you're yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady, and on this channel, I inspire you to live intentionally. I'll catch you tomorrow, same time, 9:30 p.m. Nigerian time, for the live review of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Take good care of yourselves and remember to be intentional. Bye.